Hey, good morning YouTube. Welcome back to the homestead. So this morning I wanted to talk about one of the crops that we're going to try to experiment with out here on our homestead. Because let's face it, you know, in today's homesteading we all need some cash flow to make ends meet. We all have bills here these days. So I chose several crops before we moved to this area that I wanted to try. And the first one that we're going to get in the ground is ginseng. Now, it's my understanding that it grows wild out here in the woods, but I'm not sure if it's going to work here or not. And let me show you what we're thinking and why we're thinking what we're thinking, if that makes any sense to you. So check this out. Okay, so what I know about ginseng is it likes to grow in shady areas. And I have this perimeter, this border around my property that has basically a tree line that is pretty well shaded in here. The downside of this area is there are some large oak trees and it is just chock-a-block thick with these oak leaves and pine needles. Now, I know the oak leaves are bad because when they decompose, they release tannins, I believe. They're called tannins or tannins, which is bad for the ginseng. And so it puts down a pretty thick layer. It doesn't break down quite as nicely as something, say, like a maple leaf. So we got to kind of clean up this area. Not to mention all these tree branches from these cedar trees. These are cedar trees, and they've got all these branches sticking out, and it's just hard to work in here. So I got to clear all this out. Then I'm going to get the fan bam to come out and pull it all out into a burn pile and rake this up, and then we're going to plant. So that's the plan. Let me show you what I've already started on the other side over here. So you can get through here, go through this cut, and onto the other side. Now this side I've already cleared up all the branches, so you can see how all the trees are naked down here on the bottom half. And you can see like the branches that I chopped off. So we'll get all this cleared out, raked up a little bit, and then plant. So yeah, a lot of pine needles. Not so many oak leaves on this side, but a lot of pine needles, which I believe makes a pretty acidic soil. But it's looking kind of nice. So hopefully in maybe 5 years we'll have a little ginseng cash crop, but we'll see. So let me get started. I'll bring you back later, show you our progress on this. Got the fan bam helping me clear out the brush. Alright, hey everybody, it's another day out here on the homestead, and today is the day we are actually going to plant the ginseng crop. Our first crop that we're going to get planted in the ground this year. So that is the giant pile of debris that we got out of the wooded area, cleared it up, plant the ginseng. So I have one more thing to do before we can plant, and that is cleaning out all the smaller stuff, the stuff that we raked up. So let me show you that stuff. So you can see down the center here we have this pile of just sticks and a bunch of leaves and stuff. So we're gonna get the tractor in here and scoop all this stuff up and get it out. But you can see that we've cleaned up the area fairly well. We lightly raked it because we still wanted to have some ground cover on there to keep the seeds covered, but it's a lot different than it was. This side over here, which we're going to call Zone B for remembering what we planted, where we planted, and when we planted. This one has a lot more leaves. A lot of oak leaves. You can see this pile of oak leaves that we got to get out of here. So just a lot. But we did leave some for cover on the ground in these areas where we're going to plant. And then same goes for that side over there. So it's looking fairly good. It's going to be a good start to our little farm here. So stay tuned. We'll show you our planting and how we go about it. That'll be next. All right, hey everybody, sorry for the wind, but it's planting time. Look at all that ginseng seed. So basically, you want to have one plant per foot, but you're never guaranteed that everything's going to germinate. So I'm going to plant 3 seeds. I got a foot-long little stick right here. Basically, put my marker down. We're in the shaded area that we cleaned out. Basically, just going to pick 3 random spots, break up the soil a little bit. Oh, this is something wrong here. And then plant my seeds. Now, the seeds need to be about, I measured on this, 1 inch to a half inch to 1 inch in the ground, so it's not very far. So you just want to set your seed in there. Get your seed in there. You want to cover it up and smash it down. All right. There we go. And then you just move on to your next one. Alright, moving down to my next square foot section. 3 holes. Now I've waited so long that they're already germinating, if you can see that. So I'm going to try to plant this one. Right, so we finished planting Zone B over there. We're working on Zone A over here for us. And after a couple of hours of planting these little seeds, I've kind of got it down to a science. So again, 1/2 inch to 1 inch in depth. I'm using a basic nail puller, and it's pretty simple now. So can you see? So basically, you just get out a spot, put it in the ground, drop it in there. So I'm trying to put in about 3 in every square foot, just rough guessing it. Put them in there. It's as simple as that. Put it in, pry it up, drop your seed, smash it down. Easy money. Well, kinda, hopefully. So this type of planting here is called simulated forest ginseng. So there's 3 types. There's this, which is simulated forest, kind of in my forest, and we're planting it artificially, or not naturally, I guess. And then you have your commercial type, which is done in raised beds, planted in rows, and that's just commercial, raised bed type. And then you've got your all natural, which just grows naturally in the forest. People go out, they harvest it, and you get your top dollar for that one. The next step down would be simulated forest, and then the lowest price for ginseng is the commercial raised bed row planting. So anyways, this works for us here on our little homestead, and hopefully it works for us. I think I might have found my first ginseng that we planted. I'm pretty sure that that's it right there at the base of this tree. Unfortunately, I don't see anything else anywhere else. But I know that I planted a lot around the roots of these trees. I just felt like it was a good spot. But I planted all over in here, and I don't see anything else sprouting up in this area. It's the very first one. Right there. Yes. Hopefully we get thousands more of those things. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the Ozarks Homestead and Farm. Exciting news today. Sorry about the wind, but I wanted to bring you out to our ginseng plot A, where we first planted our ginseng, and show you that we've got 1-inch little sproutlings. I don't know, is that a word, sproutlings? But so if you're looking at this ground, most of this is not ginseng, and it's very difficult to determine what is what, and I'm going to show you basically. So when it was first coming up, I mean, you look at this, and this thing looks kind of like it, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves on it. And then you've got this here, which also kind of looks like it, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves on it. That's not it. You got, and then also multiple branches. See how there's multiple branches coming out? So your first year ginseng, when it's just sprouting, will have 1 stem, 3 leaves. So you might mistake something like this coming up with 3 leaves on it before it gets the second little branch. But the difference is they're really fat 3 leaves. The ginseng is right there. So slightly different shape on the leaves. So what do we got here? We got about a 1-inch on a stem, which is slightly red, 3 leaves, pointed and serrated. That is the ginseng, my friend, right there. And let's see, zoom out and see if we can't find another one in this area. It's when you're just, oh, let's see, here's another one. So here's one, 3 leaves, stem, and then slightly to the right, 3 leaves and stem. And there's another one there, and then there's another one there. So they're in here. They're kind of all over in here. They're very difficult to determine at first, but they are sprouting. They're about 1 inch high. But yes, big thumbs up. This is our first cash crop that we put in the ground that hopefully works out for us. Now, some things about the ginseng. Number 1, we planted late. We planted in winter when we were supposed to plant in fall. Number 2, they were already sprouting in the bag, and I had to dry them out, which probably killed some off. As it looks right now, we planted about 4,000 seeds. I'm thinking that we're gonna get about a 40% germination rate. Let's walk over here to what I'm calling area B of our ginseng crop. Now this is simulated forest ginseng, so it's not actually, yeah, possibly one right there. Yep, there's one there. Lots of things that look like it. So you would think, oh no, 5 leaves. A lot of stuff coming up in here. Oh, there's a bigger one. Nice. So you got all that stuff, not ginseng, not ginseng, not ginseng, but that one is a ginseng right there. So it's coming up everywhere, not as heavy as we like, but we made some mistakes. So for the future, what I think I'm gonna do for the future plans this fall is I'm gonna buy another pound, and I'm gonna make 2 more plots over in this area, and then I'll put the rest back down into the sinkhole. The sinkhole, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let that go for as long as I possibly can without harvesting it, to see if it will start cultivating on its own naturally. Maybe we'll get some giant roots out of there, but I'm not really gonna be planning on harvesting that on a yearly basis or every other year. I'll use this tree line area up here. This is where I'll cultivate it, simulated forest. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Big thumbs up. Now all we gotta do is just wait. It's really low maintenance, kind of set it and forget it. There's no fertilizer. It grows naturally down here in the Ozarks. So as long as we can not trample it, keep the animals from eating it, and get proper weather conditions, hopefully that it's going to grow and make us some profit in the next several years. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Stay tuned for more info.